Hi everyone, Sean Waldman with Secure Cyber, and this is your weekly cyber update. Well, somewhere out there's 6 million Chrome extensions that are installed that are nefarious, meaning that these particular extensions are not showing up in the Chrome Web Store, and the only way to actually get them installed on the browser is through a direct URL. So there has been a phishing or email campaign that's involved direct access to getting this nefarious extension installed 6 million times. So details down in the notes. So if you're monitoring a larger environment or monitoring a network and have access to looking at the individual browsers, these extensions have become a real big problem. I know that we deal with that on a regular basis, just fighting the extensions getting installed. So if you've got access and have the capability, definitely look into controlling the extensions and the things that are installed into plugins on the browser because of just the nefarious nature of getting these rogue extensions installed in your environment. Microsoft recently released that the Microsoft Entra, which is basically the cloud Active Directory authentication, had an issue recently where a bunch of account lockouts were happening. And basically this was due to a flaw where instead of looking at metadata, they were looking at tokens. And users, they say a small set of users, were getting notifications that they had account lockouts due to accounts leaking credentials. So obviously, if you were part of this, you know all about this and you got the email from Microsoft. This is just underscoring the risk of some of the cloud use as we move more and more to the cloud. Just be advised that, we're definitely beholden to the master here, and anything that Microsoft does from, an error perspective definitely has the possibilities of impacting a larger set of audiences. We've seen a lot recently where Microsoft has had definitely their fair share of outages, specifically with the Microsoft 365 platform. So just make sure that in your risk analysis that you've built in any controls or mitigations to take care of situations if that platform is unavailable. There's a WordPress ad fraud system out there right now where a plugin that was installed inside WordPress generated 1.4 billion ad requests per day. We've reported on WordPress issues before on this channel. Matter of fact, I think last week there was a WordPress vulnerability that was out there. And a lot of this comes down to just governance of the WordPress platform in general. Make sure that you have someone assigned that goes in every once in a while and updates plugins and looks at the configuration of WordPress itself. It is probably the most widely, if not the most widely used web platform available globally, but it also means it's a really big target. So notes down in the show notes and the link to the actual article on Bleeping Computer. So if you use WordPress, please take a moment to check that out. The last article I wanted to go after today is Fortinet's announcement that starting with the 7.6.3 code set, that SSL VPN will be deprecated. We definitely saw this coming, didn't see that this was going to be a literal overnight announcement. But if you're currently utilizing SSL VPN on the Fortinet platform, you have basically a couple options. Number one, if you're not at 7.6.3, don't head there yet because that will definitely invoke this change and remove SSL VPN. If you're currently using SSL VPN, you really have a couple options. Number one is to roll back to IPsec VPN. Many of you know with Fortinet, the VPN access is not charged and comes free with the Fortinet platform. The only thing that's really required is FortiClient in order to access or initiate the IPsec VPN. But definitely start looking at ZTNA tagging. ZTNA is definitely where the world is moving from a VPN perspective. It gets you out of the regular SSL VPN and IPsec VPN situation, but definitely start looking at ZTNA if you're a Fortinet user. We are currently on the 7.2.11 code base, which is what we have considered and deemed the safe code base right now that we support and we help our customers with. There is the 7.4 code base as well as the 7.6.3. So this is just a heads up, probably within the year, once everybody kind of gets up into the 7.4, 7.6 range, that SSL VPN will be gone. And we think obviously a lot of this has to do with the vulnerabilities and the number of things that are out there compromise-wise that are taking advantage of vulnerabilities inside the FortiOS system. To support them in their defense, we really need customers and Fortinet owners and operators of the equipment to definitely keep up with the updates in a reasonable manner in order to mitigate some of these larger vulnerabilities that are being taken advantage of. And that's all we have for this week. Thanks so much for joining. Please like and subscribe this channel and pass this along. If you've got comments, please put your comments down there. I love seeing the comments and answering those for you. And until then, hey, let's be careful out there.